So blatant violations that have taken place. My colleagues Madhav and Mohit Bhatt joining us on the broadcast. Madhav, there are so many questions that are being raised on the violations that have taken place. Here is a female reporter who has been taken away by the police officials. The policeman also not even wearing his name badge. When asked about where she is being taken, no answers yet. SC/ST Act, the stringent SC/ST Act also being slapped against her. She was not even driving the car. She has been arrested for road rage. All of this just does not add up.
Well, a number of questions. As you rightly put it, of course, the fact that a female reporter is being arrested by a male police official itself raises questions. Number two, the fact that by the admission or the complainant themselves, they say that there was some kind of a vehicular, mishap that happened, some kind of a traffic mishap that happened. Do the traffic laws not apply over here? And if at all they do apply, is it not to the person who is driving the car that they should be aimed at, and not just journalists who are sitting in a car? Remember that there may be an accident happening for any journalist anywhere in the country while traveling in the vehicle. Now, does this mean that necessarily the SC/ST Act would be used? And also, if SC/ST Act is to be used, if an accident has taken place, how would somebody even know the caste of the other person? So all of this smacks of serious vendetta, because Times Now has been at the forefront of exposing the Operation Sheesh Mahal. Piece by piece, part by part, we have brought out to our viewers what exactly is the issues pertaining to propriety and the past stands that were taken by Mr. Kejriwal, and the luxurious, opulent, extravagant house that he is currently staying in on taxpayer money. As an elected representative, does he not owe this account or an explanation to the citizens of the country? Is a question that Times Now has asked and will continue to ask. But for that, does this mean that the Punjab police can take this kind of a disproportionate action, even if there is some kind of a traffic violation that has taken place? What are the circumstances in which the SC/ST Act has in fact been used or applied in this case? In the past, you've seen how the Supreme Court has also, looked at certain provisions. Is the Act in this case being misused by the police in this particular situation? And is it only because of what Times Now has done in the past while reporting on this particular story? These are questions that certainly the Punjab government, the Punjab police and the Aam Aadmi Party have to answer, because they can talk about freedom of speech, they can talk about how the government or the central government has in fact been, as they have alleged in the past, trying to, silence the voices of independent. But what exactly is the Aam Aadmi Party trying to do over here? Isn't this something that is perhaps the worst form of misuse of police? Because this kind of an arrest, if this starts to happen, it's going to open a serious can of worms in terms of how journalists work and function in this country, and will set many, many dangerous precedents for others to follow. And that's why it's very important for all to speak up in one voice, unequivocally, about this heavy-handed use of the police by the Punjab government.
Absolutely, and not just for the journalists, it sets a very dangerous precedent for any citizen of the country. You can be picked up by the police, false charges being leveled against you. This can be an extremely dangerous situation. And also important to mention this Operation Sheesh Mahal, where we showed the vulgar extravagance, 45 crores being spent on the Delhi Chief Minister's residence at the peak of the pandemic. All of it has been backed by evidence, documents as well as visual evidence of the money that was spent. This clearly riled up the Aam Aadmi Party, and as we've been mentioning time and again, the arrest of Bhavana is not the first instance of a reaction coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party. Previously as well, Mohit Bhatt, as reporters were on ground covering the party events, not just were they blocked, but they were even attacked by the Aam Aadmi Party workers. And all of this with silence from the top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Well, you see, from the day one, we showed the extravagance and opulent pic of Operation Sheesh Mahal with the pictures of house of Arvind Kejriwal, and the details that 45 crore rupees have been spent by Arvind Kejriwal on renovation and reconstruction of his house. We see that how Aam Aadmi Party has been continuously dodging the questions of Times Network. In fact, their bouncers, their party workers are attacking our reporters, and now we see a case has been registered against our reporter Bhavana, who went to Ludhiana just to cover a program of Arvind Kejriwal. It was an open message to media, you see, and whenever such messages come from the party or from the government, every media house, goes and covers that particular event. And she went to Ludhiana to cover that particular event. She was stopped, and then we saw that how the visuals came in, how she was arrested. Now it is being said that there was a traffic violation, the car hit an e-rickshaw, and after that casteist slurs were being heard. This is the charge that has come out, but what exactly has happened, nobody knows. It was the responsibility of the Aam Aadmi Party government and the police to inform the family of Bhavana. Yesterday till late night, Bhavana's family did not know where exactly is Bhavana. Look at the plight of the family members of Bhavana, that they do not know that their girl, where exactly she is. She's been taken away by the police, and the police personnel who was seen in the video was not wearing any badge. He was dodging the questions, and you see that the senior officials came. They took that particular ladies and the e-rickshaw to the police station. They escorted them. So it seems that there's something more to the story. So what exactly is that? That needs to come out, and that is why we are
very clearly
questions.
say that a woman not be taken to the police station after sunset. As you're seeing in the visuals, there are no women police personnel there at all. Ashwini Kumar Dubey, advocate of the Supreme Court, joining us. Anirban Banerjee, political analyst, will also be joining us shortly. Mr. Ashwini Kumar Dubey, you know, how disturbing is this? Because we're showing the blatant violations that have taken place. The Punjab police say there was a road accident. Let's say that the vehicle that this reporter was travelling in brushed against another vehicle. The act that has been invoked is the SCST Act.
It is very shocking. It's very shocking that in a case of rash driving, the draconian SCST Act has been slapped against a journalist who was there to discharge her journalistic freedom. That too, without the arrest, without the registration of the FIR, a lady was arrested by a male cop after the sunset, despite the fact and the law which says section 46 subsection 6 that a woman can only be arrested before sunset and after sunrise. The arrest shall be made only by a woman police officer. For such an arrest, the officer should obtain approval from the judicial magistrate first class, not the executive magistrate, within whose local jurisdiction the offence is committed. But here, you see, the detention was done, the illegal detention. I would call it a preventive detention. The detention was done first and the FIR was slapped second, and that too by the blatant provision of the law of the land, Indian criminal system, a male police officer taking a third. In a rash and negligent driving, even otherwise, it is the driver who is held accountable. What has to be done by the passengers who are sitting in the car? So it shows that the classic example where the state-sponsored attempt have been made to suppress the voice of media. And what the Supreme Court have said time to time, that the press has a duty to speak truth to power and present citizens with hard facts, enabling them to make choices that propel democracy in the right direction. She was there to discharge her journalistic duty. She was there to ask the question, and done abuse, misuse of the law. She has been arrested. It's a hit and run case.
There is an expose that shows that such money, the taxpayers' money, is being spent on such opulent luxuries as the Chief Minister's residence. Is this the price that the journalists will have to pay? Mr. Anirban Banerjee, look at what's happening here. The Punjab police coming and arresting this girl, not just the reporter, the video journalist, the driver, all three of them arrested for over 20 hours now. Not even an FIR copy being given.
Who thinks that the SCST Prevention of Atrocities Act is a draconian act, I think he or she should get back to the law school and refresh their studies once again. In this case, if the Punjab police has flouted any norms, if they have done something wrong, I am sure when the arrested persons will be produced before the local court, the court will take cognizance of those procedures not being followed. I'm sure you're hiring a proper lawyer. And in that case, bail should be granted. We do not know what exactly the FIR contents are till now. I hope that you will.
But isn't that what is worrying? You're saying that the court will take cognizance, but is it not worrying that until the court steps in, the police officials are acting like an extended arm of a political party? Is that not going to be a scary situation?
I would have been worried if this kind of an event had taken place in a BJP-ruled state, because the track record in the BJP-ruled states against the journalists has been abysmal. I should say that.
Okay,
now,
but the fact that you're giving this counter, you seem to be suggesting that two wrongs make a right.